Hi there, welcome to another Bell2 Tech videos. Today we'll be talking about uSDX HF transceiver. This is a Chinese copy of the DL2MAN true uSDX, but very well done copy, and it works great for QRP. This is an 8-band SDR transceiver covering from 80 meters till 10 meters. There is no 6 meters or 50 megahertz in this, just 80 to 10 meters. Okay, on the front here we have a menu and a mode and a volume control, a tuner, everything built into one. In between that we have a headphone jack which you can use for picking out the audio to your laptop for FT8 or digital operations, and then a key / mic, all 3.5mm TRS jacks. And on the back side I have put in some padded stickers for the feet, and on the actual back side we have a BNC antenna connector and then a charger point for the battery, inbuilt battery. Whereas this radio ideally comes with a battery, but I did not get the battery version, so inside it's there is no battery inside it. I plan to put one top battery, 3 into 18650 on top, and then make it, because the problem that I see is the charger point is very small, and I don't know whether I'll get a jack for that or not. And then you have the power supply connector, which is another DC jack, standard negative out, inner tip is positive, and then you have got a on and off button, which is pretty good. It'll go very tactile feeling to that. That's very nice. And then you have a key jack, which is for your mic and PTT mic, which includes a speaker as well. It's got that standard 3.5 on the right hand side and the 2.5mm on the left hand side. And then at the bottom you have the cat control cable, which also does act as a PTT out. So that's all there is to the outside of the radio. Now let's connect the mic and see how the radio works. I've got some power supply. This is the mic that I was talking about. Let me get that. So this is a very cute mic with a speaker built in. So when you connect this to the radio, the audio of the radio comes through the PTT mic. The audio on the radio will get cut off. And you have a small LED light here which lights up on TX when you press the PTT. There's nothing much to the PTT mic as well. It's a pretty standard, not a Bofeng, but very cute looking mic. And the plug pin out is more like the Bofeng connector. I've tested with the Bofeng mic and it works. Not correctly like this, but in a pinch you can still make it work. So this is the 3.5mm jack and the 2.5mm jack. As you see, both are TRS, tip ring and sleeve. It's not a TRRS. Okay, I've connected the power supply and the PTT mic. Let me connect the antenna. Just give me a second. The antenna is coming from a antenna tuner line. This is a 80-100M antenna tuner which does great 0 to 3 SWR connectivity. So this works well. So I'm just routing the antenna through that. Since the patch cable I have is a PL259, I'm just using a SO239 to BNC connector, parallel connector to this. Just give me a second, I'll just push it in. Okay, so I have the antenna plugged in, I have the power supply plugged in, I have the jack plugged in. Let me switch it on. So we have the net going on 7088, and let me see if I can adjust the brightness a little bit. Yeah, there we go. You can see it very clearly now. So let me see if I can put the mic somewhere, the camera, and come back. So we have this volume control. Let me reduce it a little bit. So you press the menu button and then you can reduce it. Now let me put it at 8 so it won't disturb with the video. So you saw that once you press a menu button and you change something and then you set it back, you'll go back to the menu. You don't have to do that. So what you can do is you can press this, adjust the volume or any other setting, and then put it. You'll still say in settings. So that's a trick that I learned recently. So first we have volume, and then we have the mode LSB. There is a shortcut on the main screen. I'll show it to you later. Right now you can use this LSB, USB, CW, FM, and then AM, and go back to LSB. And if you look at it from the main screen, you get only LSB, USB, and CW. You do not get FM or AM from the main screen. The shortcut setting which I'll show you later. So for FM mode, you have to come here and then set it. So we'll just push this. push the multi-toggle one, and then it will go back. Filter the full, then we have got the 3000 all the way up to 50 hertz. So we'll go full, keep it full so that we can hear the full bandwidth. Then we have the bands, 80, 60, 40, 30, 20, 10, 17, 15, 10, 6. Now there is a firmware issue here. Once you set the band, you can't move out of it. This is a known issue. Probably there's a firmware fix. Once I figure out how to upload the firmware to this, I'll go check the code and fix this issue. Until then, what you can do is you can just go back to the main screen, and then double click on this so that you go to 80, and then double click for 60, double click for 40, and you notice every time you double click, you go to the digital reserved frequency for each band. 7074 is for FT8 and other digital operations, so we go to 7088 where the current silicon 3P net is going on. So let us go back to the mode. We saw how to change the band, and it's per keys. So then you have the tune rate. You can change the tune rate from 1K to all the way to 1 hertz till all the way to 10 megahertz. So let us keep it at 1K, the default one. VFO mode AB, not much of a difference. There is not much enough real estate for you to move around A and B very quickly. I know there is a shortcut, not aware of it right now. We'll figure it out. The next one is RIT, receive implement tuning. This is when you have to adjust your receive to match somebody else's transmit frequency. If they're off the transmitting frequency a little bit here and there. There is also a shortcut from the main screen. I'll show you to you. Here we have AGC. Then let me reduce the volume a little bit. So you can press and turn. It should reduce the volume or increase the volume. You don't have to go to the volume menu. You just press this and turn. So that will give you access to volume. So that's a quick shortcut. And coming back to the menu, you've got the AGC, automatic gain control, limited fast. There is a slow and a off setting there as well. Then you have noise reduction. I'll usually put it at 2, just for a very clear signal. Then ATT 0 dB. From what I've read in the manual, this is the actual analog ATT that does, and this one is the digital one. The default value is 0s and 2. I let it be there at 0 and 2. It works for me. Then you have got the S meter. There are various options here. One is the S meter, the dB. This is the default. When you reset your radio, it will come back to this. Then you got the S meter. Then you got the S bar. You'll see what the S bar is. Just go back. So you can see that on top, instead of S1 to S9, it will show the bar. I always felt that reading out the values are much easier than trying to count the bars when you have to report a signal strength to somebody. So I always set it at yes. Or in CW mode, you can also do WPM, volts per minute. If you're a CW operator, it will help, but for me, I'm not, so I'll let it stay at yes. Then we have the CW decoder on. I'll just give you a quick demo of how this works. It's very nice. The decoder works very nice. Then you got the CW tone. So this, I see that there is only two options here, 700 and 600. You really can't change that to anything else. It would have been great if it was 800, but okay, I'll stick with 700. Then semi QSK, which is when you're transmitting in CW, you want the receiver to turn on after you finish transmitting, and then so that helps with this. Then you got the keyer speed. I'm practicing, so I just kept it at 10. Then you got the alembic keyer mode. Here we have alembic A, B, straight, 3 modes. So I'll just stick to alembic B. Then keyer swap is on. That means what I like is I've got a alembic key, paddle key. So I want my dash on my thumb and the ditch on my index finger. If you switch it off, the dash go to your index finger and the ditch come to your thumb. I like it. I like the dash on my thumb, so I'll keep it on. Then you've got the practice mode on. Practice mode is like inbuilt dummy control, dummy load. You keep it on. You can do TX, not in CW, not in SSB, not in any other mode. Everything will get a practice mode on. Let me just show it to you. So right now, let us go back to the main screen. I'm on 7088. I think the net is over. Let's quickly check. Looks like the net is over. Now when I press PTT, see what happens. I get a P. That means it's not transmitting anything, it's just on the practice mode. So go back to there, menu option 2.8, and then practice, switch it off, and then you see a T there, right? R means receive, T means transmit, and then if you switch on the Vox mode, you get a V there to show that you are in the Vox mode. So that's the practice mode. When I'm practicing Morse, I use this as a keyer and key decoder kind of a thing. So it will help me. I'll turn on the practice mode. It would have been great if there is a shortcut to the practice mode from the front. So you got to now come all the way to menu option 2.8. Now tone volume is the tone of the CW key, and it's pretty good. This is independent of your main volume control. So I can put your main volume control to 0 and you can still hear the tone. Very shortly I'll connect the paddle key that I have and then walk through these options once again. And then we have the Vox on or off, I guess. So, and then the noise gate, leave it at 4. This you can experiment for this when you do digital operations to go from anywhere from 3 to 6. 4 works, the default works just fine. TX drive is again the compression in your audio when you speak, so you can set anywhere between 4 to 8, and by default 4 works just good. And then the TX delay, this is used I think when you connect an external amplifier. Little bit of delay there for the amp to kick in when you press PTT. CQ interval, this is for this message, so I'll set it to 10. Yeah. Okay, and so it keeps on sending out the CW signal. So okay, that's enough for today. So you come to the screen and press this, it will start the practice message. See, you can use it as a CW beacon. These are very interesting, PA bias min and PA bias max. So this is used to control your RF out, and this goes up 0 to 255 and this one is 0 to 255. From what I've read and seen on YouTube and the documentation, it suggested that you keep the PA bias minimum at 0 always and the PA bias max between 100 to 128. By default, this rig comes the PA bias max set at 140, but as per DL2 man, what he says is the best way to control the RF out from this rig, even his rig or this Chinese clone, is to reduce or control the input power to this. So if you give put it at 128, I haven't actually tested it yet, but I guess if you put it at 140 and then put 13.8, it's supposed to give out 5 watts at 40 meters or 7 megahertz. So right now I'm putting out about 12 volts, so I'm getting 3.5 watts on 40 meters with this setting. So you can experiment, but don't get this higher than 140 because you might burn out your BS170, the finals. I mean, it's not that expensive, it's pretty cheap, but still you will burn it out. Reference frequency, this is the frequency. If you feel that whatever this is transmitting is away from the actual frequency, you can adjust this and move it around. How to do it is you can key in on a frequency here. Let me just quickly show you. Turn on my 7300. Maybe I can take the radio, the phone, and take the recording of that. So I have put it at 7100. So let me go to 7100 here. Okay, it's somebody is there. 7090. Okay, 7090. Okay, so I'll keep my let me connect my CW key to the front panel here. Okay, so this is my paddle key, very small one, compact one, and So I'll be transmitting on 7090, and as you can see here on my 7300 I'm set to 7090, and let me change this to okay. So when I transmit, as you can see, it's perfectly aligned, so I don't have to change anything on the frequency setting, so that should work just fine. Okay, so going back to the frequency, so this is perfectly aligned. So these are
number, we pre-TV for the final. Okay, bro. Nice copy. Never gone below 5.7. Never gone below 5.7. Even though I have a lot of crackling noise here. Thanks for the contact. Thanks for the experiment. Thank you for the QS. So have a nice evening and all the very best. 73. Bye bye. Over.
73 Rajesh, very nice QSO Rajesh. There is no QSB, very consistent signal. Looks like the amplifier and the uSDX this side are doing great job. Okay, 73, catch you down the log. Bye.